Most brands think the sale is the finish line. They spend thousands on ads, hours perfecting their flows, days optimizing their pop-ups, all to get that first purchase. And then what happens? Radio silence. Maybe a generic thanks for your order email, maybe a shipping confirmation, and that's it. Meanwhile, 60 to 70% of those first-time buyers never come back. Not because the product was bad, not because they had a terrible experience, but because the brand gave them zero reasons to stay. And that's where the post-purchase flow comes in. Over the past few years, we've generated over $50 million in email revenue for hundreds of e-commerce brands. And one of the biggest differences that I see between brands that plateau and brands that scale is what happens after the sale. Because the brands that win are not just acquiring customers, they are keeping them essentially. They're turning a $40 first order into $400 in lifetime value. And the post-purchase flow is the engine that makes that happen. So in this video, break down the post-purchase flow structure that we use with our clients, email by email, so you can reduce buyer's remorse, increase product satisfaction, and turn one-time buyers into repeat loyal customers. And if you're a brand doing at least 50K per month right now, pay close attention, because this is one of the highest leverage things you can do to fix your retention program. Let's get into it. Now, before I show you the exact structure, I need to explain why most post-purchase flows don't work. And chances are it's not doing much. So here's the problem. Most brands treat the post-purchase sequence as an afterthought. They set up a thank you email, maybe a review request a week later, and call it a day. But think about what's happening in your customer's head after they buy. The moment they click place order, a timer starts. And in that window, they're gonna feel super great about their decision, or they're gonna start second guessing it. That's buyer's remorse, and it's real. Studies show that a significant percentage of online buyers experience buyer's remorse very typically after they purchase. And if your brand is not proactively addressing that, they're losing customers before they even receive their product. On top of that, post-purchase sequences in general make three very common mistakes. First, they jump straight to upselling. The customer already gave you money, and before they even get their product, you're already asking for more. And that typically kills trust, right? Second, and this is a big one, they provide zero product education. If someone doesn't know how to use your products properly, they are not going to get the results expected, essentially. And if they don't get the results, they're not coming back. Third, they ignore the emotional journey. There's a reason why unboxing videos get millions of views. The moment between purchase and delivery is full of anticipation. So the first thing you need to understand is that the post-purchase is not a nice to have flow. It is your best opportunity to shape how your customers feel about your brand. And how they feel determines directly if they purchase from you again or not. Now, let me show you exactly how to structure this flow. All right, cool. So here we've got, I typically split this post-purchase sequence into two different triggers. First one being the place order trigger within Klaviyo, right? And the second one being either order fulfill or order deliver. You can also use like third-party apps like, for example, Malomo, to have a closer look at the customer journey and where the package is as well, right? So email number one, post-purchase place order trigger here. It's very simple. So a thank you plus a kind of a community bridge as well. So trigger is immediately after purchase. And this email does two things. First one is it confirms the order and makes the customer feel good about their decision. Simple as that. Second, it sends them to your social channels. Why social? Because the period between purchase and delivery is a dead zone, as mentioned before, if you don't feel it, right? Sending them to Instagram, TikTok, or a Facebook group keeps them engaged with your brand while they wait for the package to be delivered. Extremely important. They see other customers using your product. They see your content. They see your customers are happy with your product and the results. And that anticipation builds positively, all right? Keep this email clean and simple. Thanks them, express genuine excitement, and give them something to do while they wait. It could be a text-based email as well. It doesn't necessarily need to be a graphic-based, super polished email here. 30 minutes later, and this is optional to be honest, you can immediately upsell, cross-sell your stuff. Now, before, I know I mentioned before that jumping straight to upsells and cross-sells too fast kills trust. But this email is the exception, and here's why. Right after purchasing, a customer is in that big buying mode, right? They just purchased, right? So they might want to purchase again. They're just in that crazy buying mode, if you will. Their wallet is already out, right? their trust level is at its highest, especially because they just bought from you, right? And if you present a genuinely relevant complementary product with a strong time-sensitive offer, it converts like crazy. And the key word here is relevant. Don't just throw your entire catalog at them, right? Recommend something that actually makes sense and that makes their original purchase better. If they bought a face serum, for instance, offer them a matching moisturizer. If they bought a coffee maker, offer the premium beans. You get the point, right? So offer something that's relevant with a great offer if you can. And also, if you're having an offer for them here, make sure you add real urgency. This offer expires in 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever makes sense for your brand. And this email alone can significantly increase your average LTV if done right. And of course, increase that LTV to CAC ratio as well, which is extremely important, especially if you're scaling your paid ads department, if you're scaling paid ads and just your budget there. All right. Email number 3, and this is where we start utilizing the order fulfill or delivered triggers here. As I mentioned before, Malomo is a pretty good app for order tracking, and then you're able to just track every single step within the customer journey and packaging. The package itself, which is extremely useful. Highly recommended. Now, email number 3, success stories plus brand reinforcement. So here, this is your biggest buyer's remorse killer. The customer just received the product, they're holding it in their hands, and in that moment, they're asking themselves, did I make the right call, right? Your job is to make the answer a resounding yes. Okay, this is extremely important here. Show them real customer success stories, testimonials, before and afters, UGC from people who look like them. Reinforce what makes your product different from everything else on the market. This email is not about selling, right? It's just about making them feel confident, excited, and validated, right? Buyer's remorse here, we just want to kill it. That emotional foundation is what drives repeat purchases later down the road, all right? Now, 1 to 2 days after delivery here, so this is once they've got the package ready, is product education, extremely important. This is honestly, this is something I never see for most brands, is having a simple how to use your product correctly type email. Simple as that, right? Extremely useful. If again, you wanna improve product adoption, make sure people get the results they came to your brand for, essentially, So this is the email most brands skip entirely. And it's arguably the most important one in the entire flow, because here's the truth. If your customer doesn't know how to use your product properly, as I mentioned before, they will not get the best results. And if they don't get the results, they're not buying again, period, right? So this email provides clear, actionable instructions how to use the product, how often, what to expect in the first week, common mistakes to avoid, pro tips for getting the most out of it. Think of it as a kind of onboarding process for your products, right? You're not just selling them a product, you're helping them succeed with it, with your solution. And when they succeed, they come back. This email, it also drastically reduces returns and customer support tickets, by the way, which is why you also want to do it, which saves you money on the back end too, quite a lot, right? Because again, you want to show them how to use your products. So simple as that. Now, email number 5 could be sent a week later after delivery, 4 to 7 days after delivery. And then here, we want to have a cross-sell, upsell with urgency. By now, the customer has used your product a few times, They've seen some results already. They trust you. And now is the right time to introduce a complementary product. So this is different from the immediate upsell email number 2 that we talked about here, right? That one leverage impulse buying momentum. This one leverages earn trust and product satisfaction. Use a dynamic, if you want, and this is optional, product blog to show relevant recommendations based on what they purchased at urgency with a limited time offer if you can again, and frame it around enhancing the results, not just spending more money. So if we go back to the same skincare example, if they purchase, for instance, a serum, you can offer them a moisturizer. You can offer them, I don't know, whatever, skin related, for example, And then the next email could be a couple of days after this one right here with the urgency, with the cross-sell upsell. And here we have the last chance type email. This is optional as well. If you have an offer here that's actually like time limited, all right? So simple, this is the final reminder for the cross-sell offer from the previous email. Create urgency, remind them what they're missing, and give them one last push. If this doesn't convert them, that's fine, move on. The relationship is built, and they'll be primed for future campaigns. Of course, because your customers should also receive most of the campaigns you send, or at least a good portion of them. And I'm talking about the one-off campaigns, the broadcast campaigns. So if they already purchased from you, there's a big chance they will purchase again in the future, which is the whole point here. And seventh email mistake here, I would say it depends on the program, like how long it takes for someone to truly realize how great your product is. So here, I'm just gonna say it depends on your product, right? But here's where we collect UGC. And this can be done through Klaviyo directly, or it can be done through whatever review platform you're using, right? So it depends. Now that they have enough time to experience the product, ask them to share their feedback. So this is critical for two reasons. One, reviews are social proof that drive future conversions, obviously. And two, the act of leaving a review actually deepens the customer's emotional investment in your brand, all right? It is a psychological commitment. So you can also offer a small incentive here, like a discount on their next order or entry into a giveaway. This accelerates social proof collection and gives them a reason to come back as well. Now, some other emails you can integrate within the post-purchase sequence is a couple here. These are optional, but work really well. Is obviously a referral program if you have one. So if you have a referral program, this is the perfect time to introduce it. The customer is satisfied, hopefully, and they've left a positive review. They're engaged. Now ask them to spread the word and reward them for it. And then the other one is qualitative data collection. So send, if you can, again, a post-purchase service are extremely important for everything. So for product development, for paid ads, for CRO, for everything, because you get to collect extremely useful insights. So send a short survey asking about their experience, what they'd like to see next, and what almost stopped them from buying. This data is gold for your marketing team, as I mentioned before, your product team, and your ad creatives as well, all right? Now, if you don't want to spend your time building all of these yourself, we can take care of your entire email and SMS marketing system for you. We've helped hundreds of e-commerce brands implement exactly what I'm showing you in this video, and we would love to do the same for yours. So if you're doing at least 50K per month right now and you want to see if and how we can help, just book a call using the link below. All right, so now you have the full structure. Now, before you go set this up, I must warn you about the mistakes that will sabotage everything we just talked about today. Because I've audited hundreds of Klaviyo accounts and the same mistakes keep coming up over and over again. Mistake number one is having smart sending on. This is one of the most common and damaging flow email mistakes. Klaviyo's smart sending feature prevents emails from being sent if the subscriber already received an email recently. It sounds helpful, right? Except it means your post-purchase emails might never reach out to your customers because they just got a campaign or just another flow email. So I'm in Klaviyo here. This is an example here. Typically, as you can see, I just created this flow, and then you'll see by default, and this is a post-purchase sequence, by default, all the emails, or I think, yeah, all the emails here have smart sending on here, as you can see. So I want you to go into every single flow, not only the post-purchase flow right here, but every single flow email, and then click here, and then click on save. All right, that's how you turn off smart sending on. Mistake number two is not splitting between new customers and returning customers. A first-time buyer and a third-time buyer are in completely different headspaces. The first-time buyer needs reassurance, education, and just reason to trust you, right? The third-time buyer or second-time buyer, whatever, already trusts you. They just need a nudge. So make sure, just like this default template right here, that you set up a condition split where you have as place an order equals one overall time, essentially new customers. And then if it is a no, then it is a returning customer, and you can have multiple. So it could be 2, it could be 3, whatever it is. You can shorten these sequences and then have different angles depending on whether, again, they're a new customer, a returning customer. Mistake number 3, which is extremely important, is skipping product education. Big one. I cannot stress this enough. If the customer doesn't have enough education how to use your products, then if they don't get any results, they will blame the product, not themselves. And of course, a customer that blames your product doesn't come back. They don't leave good reviews, right? And they definitely don't refer friends. So invest time in creating genuinely useful product education content. How to use it, how often, what to expect, common mistakes, etc. This single angle right here, product education, can significantly reduce churn and increase repeat purchase rates. Now, the last thing I want to cover is how to know if the flow is doing its job. Because of course, setting it up is one thing, but if you're not tracking the right metrics, you'll never know what's working and what needs to be changed. So here are the metrics that matter. Repeat purchase rate. What percentage of first-time buyers come for a second purchase? If this number is not improving on a quarterly basis, then something is wrong and something in the sequence needs to be worked on. Second is cross-sell upsell conversion rate. So for your upsell or cross-sell emails, if those are not converting, I would just take a look at the content or whatever offer you're offering and then tweak those to see if you can improve those conversion rates. Another one is review collection rate. Track how many reviews your emails are collecting. If it is not where you want it to be, then you can just tweak the incentive or tweak the timing as well. Another one is time between first and second purchase. If your post-purchase sequence is working, then this time frame right here between the first and second purchase should shrink over time. Customers are coming back faster because you've built trust and shown them what to buy next. And the beauty of a well-built post-purchase sequence is that it compounds over time. Every improvement you make pays dividends for every customer who enters it. So yeah, that's how to basically build a post-purchase flow that turns first-time buyers into repeat customers. So to recap here, stop treating the first sale as the finish line. Use the post-purchase flow to reduce buyer's remorse, educate your customers on how to use your products, build trust through social proof, and then, only then, introduce relevant upsells and cross-sells. So get the structure right, avoid the common mistakes, and track the metrics that actually matter. Now, if your flows are dialed in, but your campaigns are where you're struggling, I made a video breaking down exactly how to build a balanced email calendar that keeps your audience engaged without burning them out. Watch you next. I'll see you there.